Over the last 20 years working in restaurants, I met a lot of really interesting people. Bourdain called us pirates and misfits, and he couldn't be more right. We really were, I say were, we are a hodgepodge of cultures and backgrounds, and we get to play with food all day, and we get to make a living doing that, and it's pretty damn awesome. This is what Inside the Pressure Cooker is all about. It's about making some new friends and sharing some stories with some old friends. And listen, we all know that life inside a kitchen is not for everyone. We've seen plenty of people come and go that thought they could hack it and they couldn't. It really does take a special someone not only to survive, but to really thrive in an environment of just what feels like complete fucking chaos, but it's pretty damn controlled. And then just the constant pressure and the stupid hours you put in, not to mention it can be a very thankless job. Before you know it, it's all in your blood and it's the only thing you know, and you need more. It's an addiction. This is the bond that all line cooks and chefs share. It's becoming the heartbeat of the kitchen, as cliche as that fucking sounds, but it's in our blood, which means it's fucking pulsing through our veins, and it's what we live for. Hey, quick interruption before we jump on to the rest of this. Two things. First, there's a link in the show notes that, well, it's not really a link, it's my email. Please, I want to hear some feedback from y'all. What do you love? What do you not love? This is how I learn. And the second part, I've set up a Patreon account for this podcast. The link is also in the show notes below. Please, if you're able to, we would love any contribution you're able to support us with. We all have costs that we need to try to cover with this show, and any support would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Right, where is that? That sounds so familiar.
Are we Googling this right now?
Nah, I mean, if you want to. I'm just writing it down to look it up. Man, so where do you think the state of the restaurants, like post-COVID, restaurants are just it's a mess. It's a mess everywhere. And and so I was actually talking with a gentleman, chef in Malta this last week too. And he pretty much said the same thing. And it was very interesting to have a conversation with him, talking both kind of people as well as product. And he's on the other side of the world, and it's the exact same story.
I mean, I think we're like on the upswing, like minus, like the mandates are gone. I'm like, that's a whole different topic for me. Like those mandates were bullshit to begin with. And the whole like shipping things back and forth and like supply chain crisis and all that bullshit. Like, I feel like we're being led to a place where it's purposely less meat driven. Like prices are going up. I mean, I remember paying like fucking $8 for like $8 a pound for wings, and then going down from like 8 to 6 to fucking 3, and like $3.69 for a pound of wings was like incredible. I was like, oh shit, I guess they're going back on the menu. But it like the porterhouses and the tomahawks that we sell, that we make like no money off that shit. You're not making money off that.
Yeah.
$140, you know what I mean? We make what? Change compared to like the pork shank we put out this weekend and sold that out as a special, and it was literally $5 to put on the plate. And you sell it for 32.
Yep.
36, 40. You know what I mean? And you make your money with that.
Yeah.
Like a
And you're not too
chicken,
worried if one comes back either because you fucked it up.
you can't.
Well,
They're all ready to go, dude. I can't cook it anymore.
well, okay, something happens, but yeah, there's always I always hated those really high end things that I was just like, man, don't fuck that up
Oh yeah,
because
that's how like we're
yeah,
lucky now. Like we got a new guy on broiler, and like he's pretty much there with his temperatures, but he's under more than he is over.
I'll take that.
I've yet to see him go over. We can always bring it up a temp, but you can't bring it down.
Yeah, I'll take under any day of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, no, but I mean, with staffing and all this, we're kind of talking like, so there is that great, we'll just call it um, exodus from the restaurant industry. Mainly because everybody's living paycheck to paycheck. And then all of a sudden, there is no paycheck, even though there's stimulus and other money coming. Like for a lot of people, it just wasn't enough. So
Right.
other people just found other jobs, whether they thought it was temporary or permanent. Nobody knows who even knows if they knew. But things are opening up, and fewer people are coming back. Now, some people are saying it's the culture. I'm just going to I understand concept of that, but I'm still going to call bullshit on that because the culture is what it is.
The kitchen culture or the outside of the kitchen culture?
No, the kitchen culture.
Oh yeah, kitchen culture now is fucked.
Well, before, I mean, yeah, it was a harsh environment. It's always been a harsh environment.
Right.
I mean, I, me and you are probably more of the old school chef's mentality. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I was
100%.
I was
We're like,
trained by
yeah,
Germans and French and Austrian guys, and what they grew up with as well was, you want to talk about hostile? Fuck. I mean, they were probably shoveling coal as their intern,
yeah.
right?
I've gotten plates of plates of perfect risotto fucking thrown at my feet, just knocked out of the window, saying like, "Give me something I can fucking sell." I'm like, I can't make it any better than this. Like, what the fuck are you looking for? I'm looking for this guy to fucking put up the fish at the same time, and now this risotto's cold, so fuck it, make another one. Like, there was no caring about your feelings. It was just that was just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Just put your head down, fucking do your best.
Now it's on Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram. HRs
Like,
get
oh, my
involved.
chef is so mean, he made me cry. That's his fucking job, dude. It's his job. Fucking shut up and cook. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, the kitchen, yes, it was a harsh environment. And we all had expectations of ourselves, but there's expectations of the team, right? And
Yeah.
so I expected myself to perform at a better level than I was at because that was me just pushing me. Like, how am I getting better today, right? And just never being complacent.
That's exactly what I did. And like
Yeah.
it's the total opposite now. Now it's like, ugh, I gotta get home because like fucking Housewives of whoever gives a fuck is on. Like, that's not a thing, dude. Like, I'm sorry, I have season tickets to the Giants. I don't fucking care, dude. You're working Sundays. Like, welcome to the club, dude. Like, this is what it is.
So I want to know how a line cook has season tickets to the Giants.
Oh my god, this is. It's like a running joke in the restaurant because he's like friends with like another guy that worked there, and our chef Keith was like going away on his honeymoon. They needed like extra hands, and they got this guy Brian to come in, and he was dog shit. His fucking work ethic sucked. Like, I mean, the way he talked about his mom and his sister was just like crazy. Like, oh, this bitch, this cunt. And I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like, you live with these people? Like, this is your family. This is how you talk about them. Then you come here and you bitch to us. And it's like, I can't wait until November's here because I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are, dude? You're 30 years old. You don't know shit about shit. Like, you think we're here to pick up your slack? Like, that's just not how it works, dude. Ugh, Eric doesn't help with the floors. So fucking what, dude? Get a broom. I've never once like chased. If I saw one of my chefs like pick up a broom or a mop, like it was instinct to be like, "Hey, don't worry, chef, I got that."
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? Like, I got that. Go back to the office. Go fucking organize your fantasy football league. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you got more important shit to do than like mop the fucking floor and babysit these kids.
If the guy above you whatever position you're in starts to help you or get involved in your job, that means you're not performing and
Exactly.
you need to step
Like
it
I
the
told you,
fuck up.
he's like, what do you want me to do? I said, how about fucking update your resume, dude? Because this fucking job is not for you. Like, get on, like, learn Microsoft Word. Like, get in there and start fucking typing because cooking is just not your thing.
How'd that
Anything
go
that
over?
requires like effort, he's not there anymore. No longer my problem. Like if I have to reiterate, like what should I do next? If I say update your resume, like the fucking clock is ticking, dude.
Right.
At no point should we be like outworking them. Like I was taught that if you want to get to where the guy above you is, that you need to like hustle and
Yeah.
like work your ass off and like be better than that guy. And if you can't go in every day and like try to be better and like learn something new and like shave a minute off of this pickup time or change the prep on this to like get it done faster with the same or a better result. Like if you can't adjust, then like you're not doing anything right. You're just showing up.
The way you move up in kitchens is you've got to do your job and the job of the guy in
Everyone,
front of you.
yeah, hundred
And then
percent.
eventually the job of the guy in front of you, you keep that job and then you start shaving off, your line cook duties.
Yeah,
Right. And then you're doing the job. And then one day it's like, oh, hey, by the way, you're a sous now or you're a lead. And so the promotion and the title or the name on the jacket is, if anything, that's just kind of formality.
it's the name on the jacket is like irrelevant to me. Like I mean,
Yeah, but you should be doing the job well ahead of time. So the whole like, hey, we're
exactly.
going to make you a sous chef shouldn't be fucking surprise you or anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Like I did, like I've run kitchens. I've been the executive chef at kitchens on 4 different occasions, and it's great. But it's only as good as like the staff behind you.
Oh, 100%.
Like if like the owners aren't there to like back you up, or they're just like clinging on to like dishes of fucking restaurant past and like, oh, we should do this. Like, no, we shouldn't. Like that shit is garbage. Like nobody wants to see a fucking giant meatball in this tiny little fucking clay pot. Like that shit is played out. Like let's move forward. You know what I mean? Like we don't need to do this anymore. Like let's do something else. Like every restaurant on this block serves that dish. No, we don't need another arugula salad. Like fucking get out of here. So I'm perfectly content like where I am. I think I'm happier as a sous chef to go in and like be the pit bull that like doesn't give a fuck, dude. Like I can be the animal. You know what I mean? Like Keith's a great guy, but he's way more timid than I am, and like he has a kinder, gentler approach. And I
Sure.
just don't. Like if I rip you a fucking new asshole, like don't expect me to rub your back and tell you it's okay afterwards. You might get like listen, like it's just a work thing at the end of the week, but like I'm gonna beat you up all week. Like that's how it was done to me, and that's what worked. It was like that whole like that like military aspect of like break you down to like build you back up again. Like sometimes you need to see that like all right, cool, like I guess I suck at this, and maybe I should be a little bit better. Or what can I do to get better? How do I get better? Do I ask more questions? What do I need to learn?
Just when I go off the deep end, it was more about when people would stop caring. I wasn't necessarily, the pit bull. I mean, I'm a bigger guy. My voice carries. And, and I've always been told like, hey, why are you yelling? I'm like, no, I'm not yelling. I'm making sure I'm heard. I'm like, when I yell, you're going to fucking know.
Yeah, no, that's a good line for me too.
But the moment when they just stop caring and are just blatantly like give a fuck, like
Yeah, like when did you give up?
and and then when everything starts to be sacrificed, it's like, listen, I've worked way too fucking hard for you to fuck this up, right?
Oh, definitely.
And so if you don't want to put the work into it and you don't want to try, then why am I trying to help you? Why am I trying to pay you?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no patience for that.
I lose it with that whole thing. There's no, I don't have enough time in my day to worry about like that kind of petty bullshit.
Yeah.
Like if you can't care in the slightest, like if I went to work and like didn't give it my all, I was like in fear of my job. I would have been shit canned immediately. Doesn't matter like how good you can cook. Like if you can go in there and like not and cook good, but like not consistently and have a shit attitude and like all that garbage that comes with it, like, you can only put up with that shit for so long. And
Well, the other part is like, so they say it's the restaurant culture and the abuse, so to speak, that is toxic. But I want to ask the question: what fucking industry or what job can you go to where the attitude you portrayed that got you into this hostile situation would be okay? Because I'll go up, sign me up.
it's only okay in restaurants. I mean, to me, it's like that's just if I walk into a restaurant, like I expect it to be like that.
Well, no, I'm talking that someone that can walk in and not give a shit and then complain that they weren't getting paid enough. It was too hostile. They got yelled at. They weren't trying every day. They just kind of would come in and just like, hey, how under the radar can I stay? I just, where's my cruise control? And then bitch like, hey, I'm not getting paid more. I'm not getting promoted. I'm not doing this. Fucking chef's yelling at me. And it's like, well, apply everything you just said to me to any other career. And would you expect a different result? No,
I mean, you can't. Like,
it's work ethic.
yeah, and like we as chefs are just like it's literally we're the last like meritocracy left. Like, how many other jobs can you go to and like this lengthy application, 17 fucking interviews, and all this other bullshit? Like, you walk in, it's like, all right, dude, like, all right, so go in the walk-in and fucking make me something, right? Like,
Yep.
like professional artists, like there's no fucking place to go into and be like, all right, well, paint me something. Like, that doesn't happen. Not just like, all right, go in and like fucking what's his name, like Banksy or whatever.
Sure.
You're not like getting a job and like I mean like, all right, well, go fucking paint something on the wall. Here it's just like, all right, there's the walk-in. We got a whole bunch of shit. Fucking make it taste good and look nice, and then do that every single night, every single day for the remainder of your time here. Like that or better. It's judged on merit. Like, what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Like that post today, that True Cooks thing. Like, all right, oh, the new guy, I talk all this shit, right?
That was
Fucking
great.
guy, and then you fucking sink, dude. And then I'm bailing you out. If I got to come and do your fucking job, like, we have a problem.
That was a great post.
It was a good one. But like that's the thing, is it's like it's become so obscene that like they come in with this attitude, just like, I need to fucking coddle you. No, I don't, dude. I don't need to coddle you. Nobody coddled me, and I fucking turned out just fine. Guess what? Like, if you work the fucking fry and plancha station, like, you better be fucking prepped, because I'm not coming to do it for you.
There is no coddling in a kitchen.
It's not, but like, it's expected these days. It's 100% expected. They think that people are just going to get like, a little pat on the ass and be like, all right, it's okay, buddy. We'll get them next time. And that's not how it works, dude. It's just not. Like, these guys will come in like at 3:00, all fucking stoned or fucking like working off a hangover from the night before. And like, I got home at 1. I've been up at 7, hit the gym, and already got to work fucking 5 hours before you even decided to show up. Opened everything, the whole fucking line set up, and nobody has to worry about shit.
Yeah.
But that's not for you, dude. That's for me. Like, I don't do that shit for anyone else. I do it for me. Like, first and foremost, this is what I need to do.
And how close do you think kitchens, like true professional kitchens, are to like the military?
Oh, they're fucking neck and neck. They're right there.
I know there's the whole brigade system and stuff that we work on, but I mean, for the most part, not too many kitchens still use that.
Not anymore, no. Now it's like, I mean, like, he's going to be listening to this, but I'm going to say it. Like, so we just had a guy leave, and he's moving to Pennsylvania, and he's like, he got hired as like the sous chef in this place in Pennsylvania. And it's like, the guy that fucking hired you as a sous chef, like, probably doesn't even understand like what a real sous chef does. Like, there's no concept of like those titles anymore. Like, you see the ads on Indeed and be like, oh, we're hiring a fucking pizza chef. No, dude, like, it's not a pizza chef. Like, you're a fucking cook. Like, you make pizzas. You know what I mean? Like, like, if you have an ad up for Domino's and you're fucking posting as pizza chef, and you gonna walk in and like change your shit on Facebook and fucking Instagram and be like, I'm a pizza chef at Domino's. Like, no, dude, you're a fucking robot. You're a useless robot at this point. It's not what it was. You don't like start from the bottom and work your way up anymore. And it's not like, unfortunately, like it only goes like so far. There's very few restaurants where it's like, okay, that cook is really good. Like we're gonna bump him up, and like you're gonna be the sous chef. Like that's people go in and it's like you said before, it's just like I just need to make ends meet. I'm just doing this because I have to pay my fucking outstanding like Netflix bill or whatever. Like I can't go home and watch fucking House of Dragons unless I, work these. I get these like 3 hours of overtime. I don't fucking care about you and your House of Dragons, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like what have you done for anyone else lately?
Hey man, I need to pick up some overtime. My OnlyFans account was locked.
Yeah, it's like it's insane. It's so ridiculous at this point.
Well, no, I asked the kind of the military thing because to me that's like the line is like the trench,
Yeah,
right? And I mean, just it almost feels like the guy next to you is like your battle buddy. And I mean, I didn't
they
serve
have to.
any
They
in the
have to
military.
be. They have
Yeah,
to be.
but
They have to be.
that camaraderie that comes out of it as well at the end
Yeah,
of the shift. I mean, it's like coming out of a firefight, where it's just like you just look at each other and like, fuck yeah, right? And you should be proud about it, as opposed to looking at the guy next to you and you'd be like, one more shift like that, and you're gonna have a fucking knife in your side, dude.
yeah. There's been plenty of nights like all those things have happened regularly. It happens constantly. It's like, dude, fucking how long? 6 minutes. Okay. Well, your fucking 6 minutes is actually 12. So, like, you want to meet somewhere in the middle? Like, let's figure this shit out.
Hey, at least they told you 6.
God, 6 is actually 12. 12 is 24. Like, when I say how long and your answer is melting cheese, I'm like, just like, that's not a fucking time. Like, how long? It's coming. It's coming. So is fucking Christmas, dude. Like, let's get that shit in the fucking window. Let's go.
Oh, to me, I love the other one. 30 seconds. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, 30 seconds means half of it's on the plate. And
Yeah.
I don't even
As
see
they're
the
like,
plate down. So
yeah, as they're like bending down to like pull a burger out of the drawer and fucking and like throw it like a frisbee onto the flat top. I'm like, come on, dude. Like fucking nowhere close to 3 minutes. It's never
yeah,
gonna happen.
that's the how long? 2 minutes. So is it working?
Porterhouse medium well, how long? Right now, as it's like going in the broiler. I'm like, oh come on, dude. Just say you forgot it. Just fucking be honest, man. That's
Man,
it.
that should have been the first one off the ticket.
Oh my god. Sometimes I mean we get some crazy nights where it's just like it's porterhouse, 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 tomahawk, 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 and they're like nonstop, just nonstop.
So how much longer before chefs and cooks, I shouldn't say chefs, but eventually it will be chefs, but are cooks replaced by robotics and AI?
And it's already happening some places.
Well, yeah. I mean, fast food places, yeah,
Yeah,
it's happening. I know White Castle.
yeah,
Um,
White Castle, there's a bunch of McDonald's stuff like that.
yeah, their
They
fryers
got
are
like
essentially all automated now. It's all robotic.
they have that one. I think that robot that's called like Flippy or something like that. That'll like
Uh huh.
cook burgers and steaks and shit. Um, I don't see it happening in like. I don't think like 11 Madison Park is gonna like get any fucking Flippies anytime soon. But
There's going to be restaurants that are going to be like probably the last man standing kind of thing, right? And I could almost see it where at one point in our future, where there's going to be restaurants that are all it's robotic. There probably won't be a soul in it, right? And other than like that person is probably like just the tech guy that's there to fix a robot if it breaks. Couldn't tell you anything about it. And then there's going to be restaurants that can be staffed with true cooks, chefs, but there's not going to be any middle in between.
I think that's pretty fucking depressing. That's a really fucking depressing thing to think about. To think if like people put like their heart, like they put all of themselves into this job, and to think that like someone is so fucking brazen and like be like, oh, we're just gonna like cut the middleman out. We're just gonna have this robot flip burgers and fucking cook steaks and drop fries or whatever. Like that was someone's fucking dream. You know what I mean? And you just replaced it by a goddamn robot.
Well, everything like I've been seeing the writing on the wall for so long, where it was harder and harder, pre-COVID, on just just with product costs, right?
Yeah.
And I was part of a group, so we always had contracts in place. So I was paying like 10-15% less than just the mom and pop place. So the larger your buying power was, obviously, the less you paid,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I understand, but it's like, man, so all the places that need the help are the ones paying the most.
The most. 100%. All the time.
And it's like it's already hard enough to struggle to get by. And then so COVID happens, and they probably had bills racked up. And then we finally get out of COVID. We kind of, all right, things are somewhat stabilized, right? But now pricing is just fucking through the roof.
It's crazy. And then they raise your minimums. And then they tell you, I mean, we had a company in Boston that was like, we were set up for like 3 days a week delivery, and it kept like a good rotation of stock. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, we're not coming on Wednesday. The fuck you mean you're not coming on Wednesday? Like, what do we pay you for? Oh, everything will be there Friday. I'm going to fucking need double that on Friday. It got so obscene where it was just like, oh, we don't have enough truck drivers. We don't have enough this. We don't have enough this. Oh, here's your $80 fuel surcharge. Here's this. Here's a tax on this. Tax on this. It became insane.
Yeah.
Not to mention like the prices of the product like through the roof.
Yeah, but you know what? All your chain places, they're getting their deliveries.
Oh, of course they are.
So, I mean, now all of a sudden the chain
And
guys,
those people basically survive on like serving fucking prison food. I mean, Applebee's is going to get a fucking delivery over like a place that gives a shit.
Yep, and they're going to pay 20% less, if not less than that.
Mm-hmm.
And the price on their menu, you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, it almost cost me that to put it on a plate.
Yeah,
and
100%.
so it's like, how are you supposed to compete with that? Because now people are coming into your place and they're like, well, dude, why is your burger $15? I can go over here and get it for $9.
Yeah.
And I've heard this. I've done some consulting and just working with some of these guys. And it's like, that's just how it is. I mean,
we have a meat market like right down the street from us. And they're great. And they service all of Long Island, incredible products. And they have this great burger blend. And literally, it's $5, like, to break it down. It's $5 per patty just to put on the plate. So what are you left with? A $20 burger at the end after you after you throw all this shit on there, and then add like slab bacon and this and that and all this. You know what I mean? And like labor and overhead, like it all adds up.
Yeah.
And who right now can go out to dinner to have a $20 burger when they just spent like $160 to fill up their gas tank, or have a fucking $900 oil bill?
The ones that came in for the two tomahawks.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just nuts right now.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and so the longer this plays out, the more we're going to start seeing the more just the graveyards filled up with the mom and pop places and the smaller restaurants. The medium sized ones will struggle to get through. But that's what I'm saying. Like, soon enough, it's going to be all corporate chains operated by machines. And then you're going to have your standalones that are just going to be kind of the last of the Mohicans kind of shit.
Yeah.
That are just going to be your true chefs. And there's always going to be just some of the standouts. And who knows, maybe some pop-ups will be a thing again. Underground dinner becomes like an actual thing.
Yeah.
Like it's hey, we're going rogue.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing with the ghost kitchens and shit that are popping up now. It's like people want to rent space and just, I mean, there's like a place down the road for me. Like I go on Grubhub and it's like, and you look at the address, there's like 3 addresses for like the same one address for like 3 different places.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is this even possible? That's like a Boston market. Now it's like 3 different chicken places out of one restaurant. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, get out of here.
Oh, they started doing that in San Francisco. They actually opened up. It was they opened just a ghost kitchen. It was a warehouse. And that's all they were doing. It was just, I forget how many kitchens were in it. And, but at one point they had 8 different restaurants that were executing just out of that.
Yeah.
And that was their only location. Like, it wasn't like, hey, some of them were like, oh, we're just going to do our takeout delivery out of there. So they can focus on the kitchen, which was like, hey, that would be nice, not have to deal with fucking takeout and delivery out of the restaurant. But some of them were just, it's amazing.
It really went like over the top. I know like when COVID hit, I was still in Boston, and it was like nothing was open. Everything was shut down. Everything was closed. So there was all these Bertucci's restaurants. They're like all over. It's like Olive Garden in New York. They're fucking everywhere. But they were all closed. So then Eric Greenspan started that thing, Mr. Beast Burger, and they were all working out of fucking all the Bertucci's. They were like basically paying the rent there, go in and like
Yep.
serve takeout and send out burgers to everybody, and like that's just what happened, and it took off, and it just like escalated from there. Now everything's a ghost kitchen. Everyone's like got some other second restaurant inside a restaurant selling basically the same food or like different products or with different wrappers or
Well, I mean, to me, it's people are paying for a full scale, like a full restaurant experience through a ghost kitchen. The quality is not going to be there. I
no.
mean, we all know that once you put something into a to-go box, like quality drops significant, right?
Oh yeah.
And then once you start adding on time for delivery and all that stuff, I mean, you're going to get maybe 10% of the quality that you started with.
Yeah, and that's all,
Uh,
and I think it just opens the door for like more complaints.
well, yeah, and I mean,
Like if you run a restaurant, you have like nachos. Like I'm not even putting nachos on a to go menu. Like it's not even going to be an option for you to take on. Like
oh,
they're going to be
dude,
garbage.
my chips are soggy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet they
so
were. What can I
you're gonna
do
get a
for you?
complaint every time. Can I get like a mussel pot to go? No, you can't, dude. You fucking
Oh,
can't. That sounds horrifying. Go sit down in a restaurant and eat them.
and thank you for listening to this episode of Inside the Pressure Cooker. If you enjoyed this episode and feel like you're able to take something away from it, please go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review us. If you don't use Apple Podcasts, please follow us, as well as share this episode with a friend. This is a publication by Rare Plus Media, hosted and produced by me. From Rare Plus Media and myself, Chad Kelly, thank you for listening. Keep kicking ass.